Hi and welcome to the 5-Minute Business Boost, where you get to choose your 5-minute investment. I'm your host, Sam Hicks, and I'll be discussing topics under the headings of business development, marketing, photography, and much more.
Okay, so in today's episode, we're talking about small business insurance, and my guest today is Stacey Higgins, who is an account manager at Community Insurance Solutions. Stacey will share her top 3 tips for our listeners, and I can't wait to learn from her experience in insurance. Now, Stacey is an amazing insurance broker, and I'm a little biased, but I met Stacey in my Bendigo Bank days and managed to secure insurance for many products for our diverse range of businesses. And I just loved meeting a non-stuffy broker who not only lived regionally but understood small business, event management and farming. So who is this Stacey? Stacey Sparkle Higgins, I cracked up when I read that, has nearly 20 years of experience in the insurance, finance and banking industries. Like many in the field, Stacey initially fell into insurance as an addition to another role, but quickly discovered a passion for the work and transitioned into it full time. For the past 9 years, Stacey has served as a broker, account manager with CIS, where their compassion and empathy help build strong, trusting relationships with clients. Stacey's deep knowledge of the farming industry and first-hand experience as a small business owner enables Stacey and I think CIS to truly understand and address unique insurance needs of their clients, ensuring their hard-earned assets are protected. Stacey's favourite part of the job is meeting a diverse range of people and actively supporting local communities. Now, before I introduce Stacey, one wild fact about this amazing sparkly lady is that she spent some time looking after rescue elephants in Thailand and got sat on by a baby elephant wanting to cuddle like a giant puppy dog. Stacey, welcome finally to my podcast.
Yeah, hi, Sam. Thanks for having me on your fabulous potty. It's so good to be here.
It is so good to have you here. Tell me about this rescue elephant. Oh, my God. Fancy having a little elephant on your lap.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but they just act like giant puppy dogs, but they're so big and clumsy, just like myself, and they just act like puppy dogs. Want to sit on you, want to give you hugs. They're just the cutest things in the world.
Oh, my God. I'm glad in a way they are a bit large because I could imagine you'd be wanting to smuggle it home in your pocket.
Yeah, I wanted to take them all home with me, except they eat far too much and I don't have enough bamboo in my paddock. So
you just said now Stacey's elephant puppy farm.
So I've just got lots of ornamental elephants all the way through the house.
Oh, my God, what fun, what fun. Now, we have to get serious today because we're talking about insurance. But before we dive into the tips and stories, it's important to talk about why insurance has become such a hot topic for small businesses lately. The insurance industry has experienced what is called a hardened market, which means premiums are rising and it's tougher for us small businesses out there, especially in regional Victoria, and in case anywhere in regional Australia, to get the cover that they actually need. Now, from my experience, this shift is largely due to the increase in climate change-driven natural disasters like bushfires, floods and storms, which have led to more frequent and severe insurance claims across the country. As insurers factor in these higher risks, costs go up, policy terms tighten, and some sectors or locations are struggling to access certain types of insurance at all. And for us small business owners, this can be really overwhelming, and that's where working with a knowledgeable insurance broker like Stacey makes a difference. A broker is your advocate. They understand the ever-changing insurance landscape, know which insurers are open to your risks, and can help navigate rising premiums and exclusions. And brokers, and I mean, I'm speaking from experience now because I really understand all of this, but as brokers, you can tailor policies to specific needs and make sure you're not paying for the wrong type of cover. And you also use your networks to get the best possible deal, even when options seem limited. In these challenging times, having a broker on your side can mean the difference between staying protected and missing out entirely. Is that right, Stacey?
Yeah, Sam, you're absolutely right. So insurance is a complex industry, and underwriters are constantly changing their premiums or location coverage and their risk appetite. So it's largely driven by claims experience in certain industries and obviously geographical areas. And there are new insurers coming into the market all the time. So having an experienced broker who can navigate the insurance market on your behalf, one who understands your specific needs and tailor those products, takes the stress away from you as a small business owner and allows you to get on with the tasks that are really important, like your day-to-day running of your business.
Oh, God, yeah. So before we get into your top 3 quick tips, can I share 3 quick stories about insurance and 2 that involve you?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Sure, Sam, go ahead.
All righty. So the first story is from 25 years ago, and this was one of my first farming lessons. This is way before Jeremy Clarkson and Clarkson's Farm. But this should have been made into a small telly movie if you talk to the moth of the house. So one of my first farming lessons was having vehicles insured, and we had a heap at that time. And I happened to be driving a non-insured vehicle, cringe, through a very wet paddock and slammed it into a gate post.
Aww.
Now, if you talk to me, the gate post moved. If you talk to the moth, I was going too fast. But I wrote the front half of that car off, and we were left without a vehicle in a remote area, Stacey. Can you imagine? And this was for several weeks. And that mistake cost us a few $1,000s in repairs, a replacement vehicle, of course, because we had to go and buy another vehicle.
Yeah.
Lost earning capacity as we scrambled around. Now, I made the fatal mistake, falls on my head, of not being able to afford insurance at the time, and I let the payment slip rather than ringing our insurance company at the time, which would have been the smarter thing to do, and ask if there were any payment options available to us. Now, to this day, it's been a very valuable lesson to me and the moth, and needless to say, every vehicle since has been and is insured because Stacey makes it so. And it was a very, very valuable lesson in having insurance.
Yeah, and look, Sam, this happens more than you realise or more than you know, and it's really tough for farmers at the moment, especially with the drought conditions, the high cost of feed for stock, and the impending land tax on the horizon. And insurance is one of the first costs that clients look to reduce. So it can be difficult to balance out what risks that you can take on yourself versus what would be the most critical items to insure and how it would actually affect you and your farm business if something drastic happens like that.
Yeah, another reason to have an insurance broker. Now, the second story, Stacey, is about event management, and this involves you because I'd grown up by that time. So by having a broker such as you, Stacey, one of the groups that I was running an event for, we needed insurance. And before the event, we'd sort of budgeted about what we thought was an industry average. We looked at other events in the region. We sort of had a bit of a ballpark figure of what they were paying for insurance, and that's what we budgeted. But then when it actually came down to it, Stacey was able to save us nearly $4,000 on our policy. And I think that, again, showcases the benefit of having a broker because you went out there, you got us the best deal, Stacey.
Yeah, and look, Sam, that's one of my favourite stories because I know how hard you work on your event, and I was so pleased to be able to find a solution that not only covered the event but saved on your premiums. And look, our not-for-profit groups are really the heart of our communities, and they're so important to bring people together. So as a broker, I work for my client and not the insurance companies. So I always strive to find the best cover at the best possible premium.
Yeah, and look, for me personally, and I'm digressing off the script, watch out, Stacey, one of the best things of that is I've actually been able to talk to other event organisers and say to them, hey, listen, make sure you shop around. So thank you for doing that for us at that time because every penny saved for a community group is a penny that we can spend on something else.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the biggest and the The biggest saving and the best story, I think, is this last one, Stacey. A long-standing client of mine was chatting to me about the challenges of obtaining insurance for their business, because it's something I chat to businesses all the time about. And the numbers they were quoting were absolutely astronomical. So I suggested they reached out to you, Miss Sparkles, and see if you could help. And thanks to you, and I'm not getting compensated for this plug, people, because this really happened, you are able to save them $40,000. And that client rang me weeks after to say, oh, thank you for referring us to Stacey and CIS. We saved $40,000 annually, and I nearly fell off my chair. And I think the moral of that story is to shop around and seek out a broker to see what savings you can make.
Yeah, but it's great that we were able to save them so much premium, but actually having a good understanding of the clients and their business and building good relationship with the insurers, we have the ability to negotiate coverage and terms. So it's really not a cookie cutter approach where one size fits all. So yes, it was a great outcome for the client to save on premium, but it's very important to have the right coverage.
Yeah, I agree. And look, that client just thinks you are better than sliced bread like I do, Stacey. So, yeah, it was a win-win for everybody. So, Stacey, let's get on to it. What are your top 3 tips? This is what I'm really interested in today. What are your top 3 tips for us today?
Yeah, so for small businesses, my number one tip would be to make sure that your policy matches your business. So as I said before, insurance isn't just one size fits all. So every business is different and your cover should reflect your unique risk. So whether you're a cafe owner or a tradie or running an online consultancy, Sam, we can shape your policy to fit with options like, theft or glass cover, stock cover for retail or hospitality, liability and tool cover for tradies, or cyber protection for business using online platforms. Yeah. Number 2, I would highly recommend you don't overlook business interruption cover. So if something unexpected, like a fire or a flood happened and forced your business to temporarily close, would you be able to still pay rent or your staff or your bills? So that's where business interruption cover comes in, and it can ensure your cash flow keeps running during a period where you can't trade or operate, and it'll help you bounce back without financial stress. And number 3, very important, to review your sum insureds every year. So with costs and values changing so quickly, especially due to inflation, it's important to review your building and your contents values, your stock and inventory levels, and replacement costs for new equipment. So keeping your sums insureds up to date help avoid underinsurance surprises at claim time if something happens.
Wow, that's great advice, Stacey. Can you explain to me the benefits small business owners receive when they get to choose with somebody as sparkly as you? I know we've touched on it in the business beginnings of the episode, but, why should us small business owners work with a broker rather than, I suppose, just going for the cookie cutter approach?
Yeah. So why work with a broker? Well, as an insurance broker, we do more than just find a policy. So we help you actually understand what's covered and what's not. We can compare the options across the market. So it's not just one insurer. We tailor your cover to suit your exact business needs, like we've discussed already. And we support you through your claims and your renewals as your advocate, not the insurance company. So we're here to help you make confident and informed decisions and help make sure you get the protection you need and not just what fits into that box.
Yeah, all right. So I'm convinced, but then, I have been for a few years. But with so many small business owners finding it harder and harder and more expensive to get insurance due to, the recent natural disasters, and I don't think they're going to stop. They're going to keep coming.
Yeah.
And
Welcome to Australia.
Yeah, they're exactly right. Welcome to Australia. What is your best advice for somebody trying to navigate these rising premiums and tougher policy conditions right now? Trying to get that extra bit of advice out of you, Stacey?
A little bit of advice. I would start the renewal process early and don't wait until the last minute, because early submissions get more time and attention, which can help with pricing and terms. So insurance companies are definitely being picky. So give them more confidence by being more proactive with risk management steps.
Yep.
So things like fire prevention, your risk management with if you've got a slip exposure or anything like that.
Yep.
You focus on your value, not just price, and understand the claim service, your breadth of cover, and your business continuity protection. So this market is exactly why using an insurance broker like myself matters. Clients need brokers who can interpret the fine print, negotiate with underwriters, and explain complexity in just simple terms in English, in plain English.
And I think that's been the bonus having you on site with our insurance needs, Stacey, is that sometimes when you've got, overlapping of assets that are used for one business and another business and understanding, different postcodes and liability and risk and so forth, I think that's been the greatest thing for us because I can say to you, hey, Stacey, I'm a bit slow today. What does that actually mean? And then you can break it down into little digestible shapes and sizes that I can understand and then explain to the moth because the moth's going, what? And I absolutely love that. But before we wind up today's episode, Stacey and I have 2 jokes for you today.
Because we love a good bad dad joke.
We love a good joke. So, Stacey, you're my guest, so you get to go first.
All right. So, Sam, why does a person who doesn't tell the truth not get insurance?
Oh, I have no idea. So why does a person who doesn't tell the truth not get insurance?
Not get insurance.
Not get insurance.
Yeah, because they're too much about liability, Sam.
Oh, God, I love that. Oh, God. Okay, now here's mine. Yours was pretty good. Now, you're not allowed to get offended at this one.
All right.
Because this is back to you now. What kind of chocolate do insurance agents love?
Oh, that's a good one. What kind of chocolate do insurance agents love, Sam?
They love premium chocolates. Oh, God.
Oh,
too funny.
You're
God,
funny.
You got to laugh. Life's too short. So, Stacey, if a listener's got this far and they're actually thinking about reviewing their insurance, which everybody, let's face it, we need to do it every year, don't we, Stacey, to keep current and keep up on
Absolutely.
top of it? Yeah. How do they find you and or reach out to Community Insurance Solutions?
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, so they can ring the office on 1300 132 983 or send us an email to broker.assist at cisbroker.com.au. And they can mention the podcast and we can assist them with their inquiries. So, or they can put you straight through to me too, Sam. So I'm always here.
Oh, there you go. They can find you either way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Thank you for your humour.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
for, explaining to us small business owners why we should work with brokers and what the benefits are. And, thanks for coming on the potty today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Sam. Hopefully I've helped a little bit. And if anyone's got any questions, please reach out. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Stacey, for your information today.
Thanks, Sam. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the 5-Minute Business Boost. For more information, follow me on socials, sign up for my newsie, or check out my website to see how we can work together to reach your small business goals. Remember, anything is possible, especially in the northeast of Victoria. Until next time, cheerio.